No, we know. You say what? I want to know what's going on. I'm showing shit like this. Yeah, this is the things that we do. We try to big up all energy. We try to show electromagnetism front face. You hear? Shout out to the God, one world, one head. We are raising all of the head. Big up to the Aboriginal. You know, Aboriginal TV. If you don't go subscribe to the boy, you're sleeping. You hear? Welcome to the Rascal boy. You fucking give Inca Big Unk, aka Huey P. You understand? You see the ascension right upon your face. Get used to the new voice up in the place. And come in, wretched ground of the lions. Then come on, let's go. We're gonna talk about breaking these motherfucking cells today. You know what I'm talking about? Traditional cells, you know? And get to our own traditions. What's up, one world?
What's popping? What's popping?
Oh, we up.
I'm in here.
Oh, we up and running. Yeah. Y'all come on in, put your emails in if you want to come on the chat. And we rolling. Now put your emails in, you want to get on the chat. You got the floor, Abo.
And shout out to your platform, man. Appreciate you for letting me back on here. I ain't doing nothing, man. Same old Aboriginal shit. We just uh we just coming to build as usual and just, let the energy, let the ancestors, let the predecessors take, take control, bro, and just see what we go with.
Yes, sir. Y'all see bro Sanchez last night?
I missed it, but
Yeah.
I saw he went live. What was it? Was it some fire?
Oh yeah, it was some fire. It was some fire. We turned up a little bit. Yeah, we turned up a little
Yeah, I
bit.
couldn't. I kept putting
Anything
my
that we
damn
touching.
email in the chat. I wasn't. I ain't getting no. I didn't get no burn in there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand what was going on. I said they was talking ether. You talking about magnetic energy and all that. You talking my language right there. You know what I'm saying? I should have been
Right.
in that live stream, but somehow you know what I'm saying, I didn't get in there.
But we
You
make
know.
sure we change that up. I gotta pay attention to the chat when I'm on there, because then I tell them when I'm on the thing, yo, get my guard up here, you know.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta let them know,
I
cause
think,
you know.
I think he fuck with me the strong way, you know.
So I'm not.
Hell yeah,
I'm
but you
not.
got the floor right here. Let the world know what you working right there, bro. That look like something that everybody should be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
this is etheric energy. You know what I'm saying? What everybody was talking about, how you know what I'm saying, the ether. This is this is the ether. This is you know what I'm saying. What you're witnessing is me pulling energy from the ether to be able to light up these lights. You know what I'm saying? Because you know these lights ain't gonna light up with no little 9 volt with a 9 volt battery, or they're not gonna light up with a 12 volt battery. You know what I'm saying? These are lights you got plugged in your wall. So you know what I'm saying. So here, matter of fact, let's look at one up close real quick. Let's see what's going on this one right here. This was the little Gary Destroyer. We call this one the Gary Destroyer because we wanted to make sure that we destroyed Gary's all of that talk. Y'all know him. He comes in here, talks a lot of big words and stuff a lot. He's going to tell me what can and can't be done. And this is my field,
Yeah, the
you know.
debater, the great debater, the Gary, he's the great debater.
Yeah. I said, so what happens is that when this is not your field, and the only thing you can basically do is read something off of Google and then tell me what can I have that. I don't roll with that. The game is to be sold and not told. So if you think you're getting this stuff for free, that's because you're reading Google. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you know you're wasting your time. You know? I'm here to tell you that right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't study Google. I know let's say we all use Google, but how am I using it different than the average person? Is that I'm not getting cross reference and stuff like that. I use Google to study great people, and you know what I'm saying. And when I study great people, I'll learn from them, and they'll tell me, you know what I'm saying? And then if I can produce the great things that these great people produced, then I know that I'm great and I'm doing great things. You know what I'm saying? You know, like say for instance, when you hear me talk about health, you hear me quote directly from Dr. Sebi because that's the great person that I study behind. So when a person proves to me that they're great, you know what I'm saying, that's when I go into learn mode and study mode, and I'll learn from that person opposed to trying to get this information off of Google for free. You know what I'm saying? You'll notice that the great people, they're always saying something opposite of what you're going to be reading in the free information. So that's the reason why I just don't roll off of free information. All right. So now let me give you a little eye view so you can get a taste. I took this LED off of 110 light bulb that comes off of that you plug in your house in your wall. Here is, oops, let me plug it back in so we can see it's all plugged in here. All right, it's plugged in. And here's a battery right here, 12-volt battery. We're going to put this onto this 12-volt battery so we'll know for sure that this battery cannot light these lights, as you see. You see them on? You don't see nothing flashing, because this cannot be lit by no fucking little 12-volt battery here. Okay? Now, we're going to take this 12-volt battery and I'm going to hook it up to the Gary Destroyer. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other names that they call this. We just call this the Gary Destroyer over here with HOTC. All right? Because this is our little inside joke. You know what I'm saying? You can call these things all sorts of, you know what I'm saying, the Bedini style motor. You can call it a schoolgirl. You can call it over. There's a whole lot of names we can call it. But, on an HOTC, we call this the Gary Destroyer. All right? Okay, now let's hook this back up because this wire keeps fucking falling out of this thing here. All right, now we have this hooked up to the system. And now we're going to hook our little 12-volt battery up to the system that you know cannot light this. There's no transformers. There's nothing in here that's going to help do any superpower. There's no extra batteries to this. You know what I'm saying? We're taking this real simple. Here's the light. Here's the thing. Let's turn this on. Let's see what happens. Wait a minute. It's telling me we're not hooked up, so we got to hook this up to make sure we don't burn nothing out. So let's take this and switch it up here. And it looked like I just lost a battery. I mean, a magnet from dropping off like that. Did we lose somebody? Did we lose somebody? I heard a drop off.
He hopped in and came
No,
back.
you good. You good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's put him back on this way. Oh, color the color. Put the black on. We don't put the red on.
My L said, do you have a schematic diagram? You hear me, One World?
Yeah. I put it in I put it in
What up, knowledge for ignorance?
In two ways. I put it in a way for, you know what I'm saying, for the person who really doesn't know too much, and they need to see the pieces. You know what I'm saying? Here's your resistor, here's your coil. This is the coil that you see right here. Here's your coil. You know what I'm saying? See right over here. This is my little fidget spinner that I got spinning right here. That little piece right in there. And the potentiometer, that's this little piece right here that I'm turning. You know what I'm saying? The lights, there's a light over here. And there's another light I had added in here. I didn't add it on this one. I gotta re-up this because I kept adding to this. That's these other lights. So what happens is I got a fuses. I don't know if y'all can see it, my fingers on it. I got fuses, lights, potentiometer. These are all the different things. This is a resistor. These are your diodes. This stuff is actually, I have it right in here under the bottom. internally ran. You know what I'm saying? Internally ran, as you see. What's that? Oh, it's a piece of sticker. That's it. This is that transistor. But it's probably easier for you to see on here. This was your transistor. Here's your transistor. This is a diode going across the part of your transistor. Here's another diode coming off the collector of the resistor. Here's the potentiometer. Here's your coil. Here's two batteries. One is for power. The other one is charge. In this situation that you're looking at, the charged battery is what I have hooked up to the lights. So that way I'm not really charging anything right now. I'm just making the lights flash, you know what I'm saying? Because we're showing that, what we're actually showing is that this 12-volt battery is not strong enough to light these lights. Where is the extra power coming from that's making these lights light up? That's where we're taking the help from the ether. You see, I don't have my oscilloscope here to show you, not at this place, but I did draw it out. You see these little waves right here, these square waves? What you're looking at is DC square waves. If I were to put this in an oscilloscope, we put the battery on there, you're going to see that it's going to make these square waves. You see these little spikes at the end of the square wave that I got jumping up? That's your ether. You know what I'm saying? This part right here is your regular battery. This is your 12-volt battery running. These spikes is your help from the ether that's jumping back into the circuit. So what's happening is that as the circuit is running, you see, that's why I made sure I put a color on this. I need to really color it out for everybody to see. You know what I'm saying? As the circuit is running, when it's making it's turning this coil into a electromagnet. As this coil makes a field around it, when the magnet gets close, when the magnet passes, this field collapses. When that field collapses, it's bringing this spike of energy down with it. So you're looking at the battery of the field of the coil and the field around it. As it closes, it brings down extra. Closes, brings down extra. This is the energy from the ether that's all around. They call it radiant energy. You can call it etheric energy. There's a whole 0 point. There's every different name. You're all talking about the same thing. There's energy all around us. You know what I'm saying? This is the parts that they're not going to tell you. I'm giving you this because I'm your brother. I'm not trying to get no money from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not starting no cult. None of that shit. I'm just giving you facts because this is stuff that I do. And, you know what I'm saying, not only am I an electrician for over 25 years, you know what I'm saying, I've had to learn this stuff because this is not being given. This is in your normal electrical courses. This is stuff that you're going to have to seek and find and learn. You know what I'm saying, learn with your hands on. This is the stuff that Tesla and Steinmetz and Faraday and all of the greats of the electrical world has been teaching, has been learning. This is the stuff they're getting help from the ether. You know what I'm saying? We're not using the battery. It's not just a small thing. That cell is a small thing. I can get that same power from a few fruits. I can put some fruits together and get that same power that I'm getting out of this battery to do the same work that I'm doing. Know that there's 6 different ways to create electricity. You know what I'm saying? Magnetics is just the most popular one. You know what I'm saying? 6 ways. Don't let these guys, don't think this is only one. You know what I'm saying? And actually, on my channel, what I'm going to start doing is dedicate a different timing to a different style of voltage that we're going to be able to create. This one we just start with magnets because it's the most popular and the most used one today. But like I said, we can also use piezo where we're getting energy from crystals. You know what I'm saying? And the compression of crystals. We can use friction. We can use chemical. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of different ways, like I said, to produce a voltage. You know what I'm saying? So don't let these guys fool you. You know what I'm saying? They keep changing. They dumb us down. I'm reading books from 1940 of electrical, And I'm comparing that to what I'm doing here today in 2000 in electrical. And I'm letting you know that we've been dumbed down to the point of installers. I like to say the average electrician, we're gonna call them an electrical installer. Do they really understand electricity? Do they really know where this stuff is coming from? No, because they only tell us but so much, and they separate the engineer from the electrician. So these guys don't really coincide too much. You know what I'm saying? It just took me a lot of years of experience to be able to know the engineering part of it. That's all. And I'm still learning more every day. Every day I'm learning this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I'm doing. Wake up in the morning doing this. I go to work. I come home. I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where you see what's going on here now. We're making energy. You know what I'm saying? We're creating our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is what's being suppressed. They don't want you to know this stuff. They want you to pay
So
for
as I look
limited
at this,
power.
right? As I look at this one world, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at it, and I know about grounding and wiring, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm thinking about electricity and how they do it. Okay, so we know that they use copper as a conductor. This is the reason why we use what they call the rebar up under the concrete and under the fucking ground, under your
Mm-hmm.
buildings. The rebar is copper, you know, because the electricity can roll. So they roll it through the ground and keep it grounded under it. And then they connect it with the telephone pole, right? Which is the conductor where it flows through. And then they put uh uh the antenna, as you will, or the right and negative positive charge at the top of the pole. So it takes the energy, it's like an antenna to suck it, but it also traps it within the range of the height of the pole to the ground, so it keeps it suppressed. You feel what I'm saying? So the energy is within there, within the air range of where we at. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you got a lot of good information in there. Maybe a little, you know, mixed around in a pot, but
Right, right, right.
you definitely got the right stuff in the right area. You see, I'm gonna be showing, like I said, I got circuits. I'm gonna be showing you how I'm gonna just be able to take a wire, put it way up in the air, and with a simple little circuit, I'm gonna show you how we can take the energy right out of the air. And once I show
Right.
you how simple this is done, well, you know what I'm saying? These are all sorts of different ways of getting that ether energy. But when I show you how simple this one is gonna be done, you're gonna walk outside and see things differently when you look at old structures. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to see. You're gonna be able, like for instance, when I tell people the Statue of Liberty is an antenna. It's made out of copper. It's got the big gold tip and it's sitting over on top of water. I said that thing is an antenna and it's taking energy out of the air. Now, people will look at me and tell me something that, you know, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But once I perform an experiment for you and show you how I can take a copper and put it way up in the air and then start to draw energy out of that copper with a very simple circuit. You know what I'm saying? I should pull some of my circuits out. I'll show you some of it because I got it written down. Some of them I probably don't have it here at this place. But when I show you how simple this is, and you're gonna start looking at this stuff, and the only thing you can sit there and says is, well, I bet you that's not what you think it is. When I start, you know what I'm saying, when I start to show you some of this stuff and I'll be like, you know, I bet you what you saw is not what you think it is. So
Yeah.
in other words, you remember those little pictures going around the internet where you see like the 9 dolphins and it looks like two people having sex, but it's really 9 dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Or pictures like that where it looks like it's one thing and you gotta find how many trees maybe is in the picture. You know what I'm talking about?
Right, right.
What happened there is that what they're trying to tell you is that if a child was to see that picture, they won't see nobody having sex. They're just going to see the 9 dolphins. In other
Mm-hmm.
words, you've been trained how to see things. You've been trained how to see life. And this is the reason why they can hide this shit right in front of your face. And
Mm-hmm.
you'll never know about it because you're seeing it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? I have a whole bunch of electricians that I'm around all the time, and we talk about the Trade Center, and I talk about how there was twin towers, and one of them had a long antenna on it, and the other one didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's because of resonant frequency, and one of them is drawing energy out of the ether, and then it's sharing it with the other one like a tuning fork. You know what I'm saying? But the electrician will tell me, no, that's just a big repeater. That's just a big repeater. That's not what you think it is. And then that's when I got to show you what that repeater is doing. Where, you know what I'm saying, what that repeater is doing. This is because the people don't understand exactly what's going on. It's because you've been taught to see it in the wrong way, so you don't exactly know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? We all been blinded. You know what I'm saying? We've been blinded, and they've been able to hide things right in front of your face because you need to be taught again how to be able to see things with a natural eye, opposed to being able to see the things the way we've been taught. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening.
That's crazy that you say that, right? Because the shit I teach on my channel and a lot of shows I've done, when you speak about certain things, people think you're talking about conspiracies and shit like that, right? But when you see shit from the natural understanding and from its true essence, it's not really hard to fathom. So peep this. I did a show where we were looking up, we were talking about the obulus, right? And what obulus do, right? The geometry in an obulus, from the pyramid being at the top to it being a rectangle at the bottom, we just, and how that can channel and pull energy, right? But not only did we speak about this, but then we found this pyramid with an obelisk on it that like Napoleon had built somewhere, right? And then we started looking up where the obelisks were around the world. And then of course we seen the one in DC. But then what really like made me like really cringe was that we noticed that in front of damn near every Mormon church, they have obelisks out there, right? And so when I started to notice, I was like, yo, these motherfuckers are putting putting energy centers over vortexes or whatever you want to call them, right? And they're calling them churches, right? Like even in my city right now, like in the capital city right now, there are 4 churches around the capital city. 1, 2, 3, 4, like in a square, right? All of them shits got, they got obelisks and shit all down there. And like I just started to look at shit totally different because you're right. There's a whole energy bank that our people have been disconnected from for several different reasons, of course. But it's imperative that our people start to understand, start to tap in, and understand the different ways that you could potentially tap in to this energy to manifest what you trying to goddamn manifest. Like I just wanted to say that, bro. I digress.
No, you say you're saying the right thing. That's good. That shows that you see the correlation, opposed to people just regurgitating some shit that they heard. You know what I'm saying? I like it. That's why I be telling motherfuckers, I'm like, you got to say it in your words for me to know that you really got this. If you just gonna regurgitate shit that you hear, you know what I'm saying, you don't really got it. You don't see the correlation. You know what I'm saying? And the best, all the thing I do is try to find the best way for people to be able to see it. Because I'm telling you that, listen, I'm not telling you follow me. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning this stuff as I go along too. I'm saying get into the field so you can start to learn and know that there's a lot of bullshit going on. And that way I got somebody looking to the left while I'm looking to the right, you know what I'm saying? And we can come back together, you know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, this is what I saw. Yo, this is what I saw. And like, wow, we could put our notes together, you know,
building,
I'm
not
not talking about
destroying.
peer
We're
review.
building.
Exactly. I
We're
ain't talking about
building each other
no
up.
government shit. I'm
Yeah.
talking, it's got to be natural. It's got to be us. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be something that we doing natural, not no government-led shit. It's got to be, you know what I'm saying? We got to know that we want to do it for ourselves, and we got to
From
do
the
this for ourselves.
ground. This is where we're grassroots. We're the ground. You know, we keep everybody grounded. The balance. That's what we over here for. We all leaders. Y'all want you to lead, but I want you to walk with us, not be in the front. So if they pop off the top, we all can keep on rolling. I can't lead and be in the front and you pop off my top and everybody go run. No, we got to know that we all leaders. You the top of the pyramid. I am Abo. We all have our own pyramid. This is the whole key. We're building everybody up so we can all
You know
have
what's
our
crazy?
own energy and our own chi. You got to work your own chi. This is how you connect to the ether because your antenna is your thought caps, your hair, your whiskers, your hair. Keep your feet grounded and operate your right and your negative, your positive and your charge, and suck it and push and pull. Push and pull. Create your friction and know where your static is connecting to get your energy.
And for the Christians, that's where your intent, his antenna, what was that? Was it Samson? His antenna to the ether was his hair. And that's where he was able to get the strength. The strength, you know what I'm saying, is because his antennas, the antennas that he had, you know what I'm saying, was long enough or whatever it was, and he's able to tap into that help. That's where, you know what I'm saying, and when he lost his antennas is when he didn't have the strength anymore. This is scientific fact for the people who want to hear the science part of it. Well, when Americans decided to take the Indians into the military because they have this amazing sense of tracking and they have these abilities that they're able that they can use out in the wilderness. So of course the military wants to use these people in conjunction with them. But what happened is that after they joined the military makes you cut your hair. And after all of these guys, after they got the military haircut, they all lost their tracking senses, and the military thought it was a joke. So they put studies into this. This is how I'm able to tell you about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? They put studies into this, and they found that when the Indians got their haircut, that they lost their antennas, and that the length of your hair really has something to do with enhancing your senses, you know what I'm saying, and abilities and stuff like that, the longer your hair is. And then when they found that to be true, they started letting these certain guys in there have these long hairs, you know what I'm saying, growing all these long hair, long beards and everything like that, and letting their extenders come out. You know what I'm saying? They only put certain ones in there. Say it again?
I said Buffalo Soldiers.
There you go.
But yeah, that's facts. A lot of people don't even understand that your whole goddamn your skin is an organ. It absorbs energy. Everything you're around has different energies and frequencies. I think our people are so stuck in a certain like perception of shit. They don't really understand it's a whole nother world going on outside of what you can initially perceive. You know what I'm saying? Like this concept that you have right here is really big because you could actually potentially teach individuals this concept and they could create their own energy to become self-sufficient. Um, that in itself is something that's groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? If we could apply this on the micro and macro level, right? So where individuals can understand and create and engineer these certain you know what I'm saying, these certain things to where we are not stuck on the grid so that when we want to we can pull out and we can become self-sufficient, because at the end of the day that is the end, that's the goal, right? To become self-sufficient, to not need to be governed. And that's what I need our people to understand. You can't complain about a government if you need to be governed. If you need your lights, nigga, if you need your water, if you need goddamn have these certain things, then you have to go and follow the policies and the motherfucking statutes and shit that these motherfucking municipalities are creating. So in order to get from under these jurisdiction of these municipalities, first you must become self-sufficient and be able to survive on your own. That way, they can't do shit to you. You understand? There's nothing they can do because at any given time, whatever situation comes, you are self-sufficient away from the matrix. And that's really what it boils down to. That's what I'm teaching my seeds and my descendants. Like it's cool and nice, you know what I'm saying, to want to have things, but in the end of the day, can you fucking take care of yourself and your descendants and handle yourself in all situations? And I think they got us kind of paralyzed right now. You know what I mean? They got us kind of socially and physically and mentally paralyzed, and to the point where, like you said earlier, we don't even see what's really going on. So they could put this shit right in your face and you don't see it. Look like we all see it.
That's somebody trying to call on my phone and shit. I'm trying not to answer yet since we're live. I'll call him back in a minute. All right. We clear? I'm still there, right?
Well, yeah,
y'all hear
we're gonna
me?
keep
it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Make sure. Wait a minute. I didn't put my other battery back on. I didn't put my other magnet back on. I broke a magnet off.
That shit is crazy.
Real quick.
That shit is dope.
Oh, shit. Shit, now I just took 2 magnets off, motherfucker.
Got you back here?
Yo, they just knocked me all the way out. The show's still rolling. My whole fucking shit just cut off.
The show still rolling?
Yeah, still rolling though, but my...
That's crazy. This shit fucking up though. Can't even hear you.
Oh, it's hot. Ooh, hot. Okay. Remember, I gotta find out what's going on with you. The trigger coil. We gotta find out what's up with this. The only thing is that only thing different is that he doesn't have a smaller trigger. He's at the same size trigger. Now, is that the problem? Because if that's really going to be the problem, I'm going to switch the coil with one of these that got on the right side. And one of them should.